Alright, MG Rob back with you. This is my old '01 Buick Lesabre. This was my beater with a heater for a little while when I just needed a cheap car to get around. And you can see at one point in time I'd gotten rear-ended in it. Now, this car served me very well for no more than I paid for it. Now it's been sitting here for probably a year and a half now, hasn't moved. The battery's been dead in it, and I'm sure it froze and it's probably got cracked plates in it and everything. But I thought what I'd do here real quick is air the tires up, jump it off and see if it would still run. I had been debating on this car what to do with it for a while now. I was thinking about at one time using it for you know, something like demolition drag racing or something like that. I just couldn't bear to just take it to the junkyard because it's still got such a good running engine. Mechanically the car is still really good, it's just it's not worth anything, and you know, the heater works, but the air conditioning doesn't. Only one window rolls down, and rust got in around the firewall here, and the K-member moves around in it now, so it's kind of unsafe to drive anymore. So I figured, you know, and of course it's got a great interior still too. So I figured what I would do, get in here and we'll pop this battery out and we'll jump it off and see if she'll still run. So this is why this thing has sat for so long waiting for me to figure out what to do with it. It's got the venerable 3800 Series 2 engine in it, which at the time that it was being made was probably one of the best engines GM was making. And it's a very good engine, and I really hated to just junk the car, and I thought maybe I might pull it and do an engine swap in an MG or something with it. But now I've just got to get rid of the car. I've got to get it out of here, so I can't just keep it around for any longer. Okay, so the reason I disconnected the battery is now I know that this battery is dead as can be, and it can actually take more power to jump it leaving the battery hooked up than disconnected. So I left the ground hooked up to the ground cable, and then to the positive jumper spot here. So let's see what happens. All right, so the gas in this thing's probably 2 years old. Well, she's got power. Yeah, and it was a full tank when I stopped driving it too. Guess my jump box ain't got enough to do this. Alright, so plan B is I got this battery here, hook up to the jumper cables and the jump box on it both. So let's see what happens now. Well, evidently we got an electrical problem. I'll have to chase down in order to get it running. Well, after putting a breaker bar on the crankshaft, I couldn't get it to turn. Turns out the alternator was frozen, so I broke the alternator loose. So now it'll move. So let's see what happens. All right, one more time. Still doesn't want to go. All right, well, what it turns out is the air conditioning compressor is froze solid. So that's why it would not turn over. All right, well, that was it. Air conditioning compressor was froze solid. So now it's running just fine. Of course it won't stay cool and can't charge, but all I need it to do is go on the trailer so I can take it into pick and pull.